What is up, my beautiful people? I hope you've had an amazing weekend. Um, I'm shocked. It's been 11 weekends since I've consumed alcohol. I'm feeling great. I can't complain. I've lost a lot of weight. I feel good about myself. I'm moving the needle forward. And I've made some sacrifices in my life, and I am trying to get to the next level. When we look at 11 weekends, that turns into 77 days since I've had my last drink. Um, the three things I want to talk about today is be intentional with everything you do. Know that you have the best investment, which is yourself. And in order to just be calm overall, find peace within yourself, and the world will open up to you. Today, we're going to talk about 1 billion and why that's significant in terms of Bitcoin. We can see that Fidelity, yes, the Fidelity predicts $1 billion Bitcoin by the year 2038. When I look at Bitcoin long term, I see it as a savings account. And call me crazy, but I really think it's important to just see that there's digital disruption happening in the financial space. And I think there's an interesting use case to apply this process to helping your kids have a good life. I don't have kids right now. I don't know when I'm going to have kids. I don't know when I'm going to get married. I have no idea. I'm not worried about it, but I'm planning for the future. I'm trying to put things in place that help set up my life for success, regardless of what happens, job wise, career wise, health wise. I mean, you could get hit by a car tomorrow. What's going to happen with your money? What's going to happen with, your bloodline? How are you going to set up generational wealth and just wealth preservation? When we look at Bitcoin calculators today, we can see that hypothetical example of how I'm going to save money to help set up my kids for future success, allow them to go to whatever college they want, and just not have to worry about money. Because ultimately, what we want is freedom to do the things that we want to do every single day, regardless of what that is for work, whatever that is, regardless of just anything. I want to work hard. I want to travel. I want to love my life, and I want to do the things that make me happy, because nothing is set in stone. You're not guaranteed to live till you're 95. You're not guaranteed jack shit in this life. The only thing you're guaranteed is having the present moment, thinking presently, and trying to make decisions that set you up for financial success. When we look at some Bitcoin retirement calculators, we're going to see that we can see that an investment of $1,000 right now in an annual estimated buy of $1,000. If Bitcoin grows at an annual price growth of 13%, which the S&P 500 did last year, that kid is going to have a retirement income of $40K by the age of 38. I don't know what else to say aside from I don't know how you make money investing in a 529 or a 401k that's making 6% a year. Put your money in the S&P 500, put your money elsewhere, put your money in Bitcoin. I don't know. None of this is financial advice. I'm just seeing what big money is doing. In the year 2021, $1 billion seems like a lot of money. Even in 2038, it will be a lot of money. Jurian Timmer, director of global macro at Fidelity Investments, believes that one Bitcoin could be worth $1 billion by the year 2038. Fidelity has over 200,000 Bitcoin. BlackRock has over 500,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is about to release a buy for over $3 billion of Bitcoin tomorrow. Politics aside, you have to understand that the financial space is getting disrupted. And I think we are at the beginning of a gold rush for cryptocurrency and it being like internet adoption back in the 90s or when the first iPhone came out. You never thought you were going to be able to take pictures and upload them to Instagram. You could just text and play Brick Breaker or whatever it's called. So when we go back to this calculator, if we start playing with numbers and we put it at 29%, which is what Michael Saylor predicts over the next 21 years, your kid is going to be retired by the age of 17. You're not even going to have to worry about paying for college or expenses. The thing that I've learned a lot lately is by listening to Joe Dispenza and being intentional with everything and knowing deep in your heart that you have everything that you already need. When you look at material things, they're not going to make you happy. You have to be on a path that you have conviction in, that you believe in, and ultimately you have to believe that you are the best investment for yourself because that's the truth. You have the greatest gift already. You just don't know what it is because you're chasing bullshit. You're trying to buy a car that you don't necessarily need. You're trying to go on a vacation that isn't going to make you happy because you're probably going to go drink and get drunk. And what are you chasing? That is what I guess my question is for you tonight. What are you searching for? You already have everything you need, in my opinion. Going through health issues, I've realized I have all that I need. I have a great family. I have a great life. I have great friends. I'm thankful for the opportunities that have come into my life. And I'm trying to continue to find peace within myself because I think once you stop fighting yourself, the world will open up to you. I truly believe that. So when we look at just investing in the future, nothing is a given. Nothing is set in stone. If we look at the Bitcoin price growing at a CAGR, however you want to pronounce it, of 88%, which it's done over the past 10 years or 5 years, it's been over 80%. Your kid's going to retire at the age of 8. What's to stop Bitcoin from hitting $8 million in 7 years? Fidelity's predicting it to be $1 billion. So you might say, Zach, you're crazy. And sure, everyone's crazy to some extent, right? $1,000 now, stop drinking alcohol, go sober for a year, see what happens, invest that money instead, and just see what happens. I think in 10 years, it's going to be comical to see my videos and where things are now. I've almost been making videos for a year now. I used to weigh 300 pounds. I weigh under 240. I've stopped drinking alcohol. I'm sober. And I feel so good about myself because I'm listening to what my body needs. If you look at your past life or your life, what is the longest that you've gone without consuming drugs, alcohol, pornography, just anything that has not been good for you and you moving forward? When I look at it, ever since college, I've pretty much gotten buzzed or drunk every weekend since I've been 18 years old. If I could go back in time, I would start making videos, doing what I'm doing today, trying to document stuff, because ultimately I'm keeping myself accountable and I'm putting something out there for the universe to give back to me. I'm coming from this from a state of purity, from a state of honesty, from a state of authenticity. And I feel compelled to share this message with you, because I think ultimately, why is big money doing this? In 10, 20, 30 years from now, we're not going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about Satoshis, the individual components behind the Bitcoin, or not the individual components, but the ultimate. If you break down Bitcoin to the smallest unit, you have one Satoshi, 7 decimal places, and 1 Satoshi, or 8 decimal places, 7 zeros, 1 1. So you might say, Zach, this is bullshit. Okay, let's just put it at 6%. I mean, this is going to help your kid have money if something happens to you. Not financial advice. Who knows? Let's look at another calculator. Let's look at Unchained. So many times I feel like kids today are lost. And maybe it's just different because of social media now. I have no idea. All I know is kids are chasing money instead of chasing the process, instead of chasing sobriety, instead of chasing relationships that just help them grow as a person. I went to the farmer's market the other day and I had so much fun just walking around, talking with people in the community, and I felt love. And everyone was nice. The food was amazing. I have a ton of food that I got. And it's all about being connected. So when we look at what are you going to do with your life right now, if you're struggling to get through college, if you're struggling to try to figure out how to trade stocks, if you don't know what to do, I challenge you to consider looking at alternatives, because we're going to go into this later on when we get into the Roth IRA calculator. How do I have money long term when I'm 60? How do I secure my future to make sure that I don't get fucked by the system if I get laid off or lose my job or get sick or get hit by a car and have to pay medical bills? I mean, shit is going to hit the fan at some point. So if we look at this calculator from Unchained, we can see that the current age, let's just say you're 16, you just had your sweet 16. Dad or mom's going to buy you a vehicle. You say, fuck that. I want some Bitcoin. You put in $2,500 worth of Bitcoin today instead of buying that sweet 16 party. Think about the future. Money saved now is time saved in the future. When we look at, sure, you're 16, stop smoking weed. Stop fucking around. Save $1,000 a year, put it into Bitcoin. When we look at Bitcoin growing at a compound annual growth rate of 13%, which the S&P 500 did last year, it's safe to say that you'll be able to retire at the age of 62, not doing anything else. Shit, you could retire at 57. All you need is $50K to live a year. Stop being so obnoxious with money. Stop wasting money. Who knows what the capital gains tax will be? Might be 23%, might be 0. Politics aside, we're talking about making money here. We're talking about wealth preservation. We're talking about using capital to just change your life. So when I look at this type of money, I see turning $2,500 and $1,000 a year into $2 million by the time you're 57. That's a pretty good ROI. By the time you die, and like I said, nothing is a given. Enjoy your life now, live presently, do whatever the fuck you want to do, and be convicted in what you're going to do, because you only have one shot at it. Don't do something you don't want to do, in my opinion. So let's turn this modest $3,000 into $36 million by the time you're 95. We're going to get into a Roth calculator, and you're going to be blown away at how much money you're not going to make saving in a bullshit 6% return investment portfolio that we typically get. And sure, you might be a little bit more aggressive, but who knows? I mean, we have scandals with companies, and stocks can drop at the drop of the dime. Stocks can fall, and so can Bitcoin. However, you can print more shares of a stock. There's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin. A lot of those are lost. A lot of those are already owned by individuals. There's only going to be 1.1 million mined until 2140. It's going to continue to have every 4 years. Supply and demand, it's going to go up, not financial advice. When we look at investing in the traditional finance sense, we can see if you have a kid that's 1 year old, college is going to cost $24K. You want to pay for it all. You don't want to have any loans. You want to set that kid up for success. If we look at investing $110 a month with a current savings of $2,500, you're going to fall short of your goal. You're going to fall short. You're not going to have enough money to pay for your kids' college. The goal is bloodline preservation. The goal is to just enjoy everything that this life provides. And I'm going to figure out a way to do that. When we look at another calculator from Charles Schwab, we can see you got one child, their current age is 1, the current annual college cost is $26K, the plan contribution yearly is $1,000. We're not talking about a ton of money here. We're talking about not spending money on stupid shit, not spending money on alcohol or drugs, and really just trying to transform your life. And if we look at this right now with a hypothetical return rate of 12%, which you might be lucky to get in traditional assets, you're going to fall short again. That $270,000 that you're going to need for college expenses, and who knows what it's going to be at that point, if your kid's going to college in like 2040, or who knows, I don't know. You might have $80K for that kid's college, and then that's going to get taxed. Bitcoin will get taxed, who knows? Politics aside, like I said, changes are going to happen to the tax system. Let's look at a traditional IRA. Let's put our money away in an IOU that we have to pull out if something happens to us. We can't withdraw it until we're 59 and 59 and a half. And, what happens if we get hit by a car? What happens if we have Lyme disease like me? What happens if you have to get on disability and figure things out because you don't know what the fuck is wrong with you? And shit's going to hit the fan, guys. How do you preserve your money to make sure things are okay? So let's look at the contribution year of putting our money away in an asset that we get penalized on for pulling it out in the future if something happens to us. Contribution 2024, we're 31. Say we make 50K a year. Who knows? I don't care what you make a year. I care about what your ROI is on your investments. Starting balance at $2,500, annual contributions of $1,000, return rate, let's do 13% again. Who knows? Maybe it's just straight in the S&P 500. Retirement age, 67. Your balance, not too shabby, guys. $902,000. So if you have your money in a Roth or a 401k, kudos to you. You're making money. I want you guys to make money. When we look at Bitcoin, though, $36 million at a growth of 13%. We're talking exponential differences. So, to wrap up, Fidelity thinks Bitcoin might be worth $1 billion in 2038. Why would they put bad articles out there if they have over 200,000 Bitcoin? They want to make money so you don't go to a different asset manager. If they don't make money, they don't grow. Every company is for profit. They have to make profit to grow and sustain what they're doing. But they don't give a fuck about you because they'll fire you or lay you off at a drop of a dime. Look at Meta. Look at all these other companies. Your job is not safe. Nothing is guaranteed. So we look at $1 billion. Who knows? I don't need $1 billion. I just want to be able to do what I want, whenever I want, do the things that I want to do for work, and have a great life. We're at 77 days of no alcohol. We've had 11 Saturdays of being the designated driver. When's the last time that you've committed to doing something for a year? I guarantee you probably haven't done shit. And if you have, I congratulate you for being a difference maker and challenging the status quo. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will catch you on the next video.